Hello again, happy stampers. This is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations, welcoming you to my weekly video and blog. And it is my weekly day of the week to share current catalog projects with you. And the new Stampin' Up! May to April 22 catalog has gone live this month, and all kinds of wonderful new things and all kinds of wonderful returning things as well. So let me share with you the project we're going to do today. We are going to be making this lovely card. I have some fun things to share with you about how I accomplished that card, and I'm anxious to show you. I do hope that if you don't have a demonstrator from Stampin' Up! That you will consider shopping my online store. I will put a link to that in the description below. And if you go to my blog, which is also linked in the description below, you can see how to order and use your use the host code and everything else. It's all on my blog. So I encourage you to check out my blog as well. So let's get started. This is what we're going to make. Let me put that over here. And it is a standard A2 card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and burnished to make a side fold card like that. And then you can see all my corners are rounded, and so I'm going to round the corners. And this is the let me find the name of it. I always get it wrong. Detailed Trio Punch. It's found on page 150 of the catalog. It's a returning tool, and it has the 3 different things that it can punch. And you'll see some tricks with that in just a bit, but it will cut through. This is Whisper White Thick, and it will punch through them both folded and give you those nice round corners. So that's what we're going to do here. Get my card in there square. There we go. And I don't think it really did it right. I don't think I had it in there square. Let's try and see if we can. Ah, much better. Okay, and we'll do it for this one as well. Got to be sure and get it in there. I don't know if you can see, but there's the guides here, and you've got to be sure and get it in there tight on those guides, or it won't stamp that or punch that corner correctly. There we go. That fixed it. Okay. So there's my corners on that piece. Then the next piece is the new In Color Fresh Freesia, and it is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and I am going to round those corners as well. I don't very often remember to use this punch, but it is kind of nice to give a card a different look with those nice round corners every once in a while. And you wouldn't have to do all 4 corners. You could just do the 2 on the opening side, but I chose to do all 4. So that is the Fresh Freesia piece that's going to go on there. And I need a piece of scrap paper here. So let me grab that, and we will see about putting that behind here so we can do the edges. Now, in the stamp set that I'm using, which is Garden Wishes, this is the stamp set, and it is found on page 22, and I am using this image for our project today, and this little tiny, looks like little seed pods blowing off of a dandelion. I'm going to be using that. So that's the one I am using to make the design around this, and I'm using Fresh Freesia ink pad, and I'm just doing a tone on tone all the way around the edge. And it's good to kind of move this around a little bit, otherwise it all starts looking exactly the same. So it's kind of good to turn this stamp every once in a while and get a little different angle on it. And you can see we don't have to have it go too far in, but you know, about the width of the stamp. I'm kind of stamping a little bit off and a little bit on. And the idea is I want this piece, this art piece, to have a border. I felt like the plain freesia in the background was too plain. So I wanted something. And so this is kind of creating my own DSP, so to speak. And let's see if that will work. We'll bring in my piece and make sure. Looks like it's going to be fine. So that's ready to go. We'll set that out of the way. Then this is what I call my art piece. And it is basic white regular. And it is 3 by 4.5. And I am going to show you how I got these words on here. I took a piece of sticky note paper. There's nothing on the back of it. It's just a piece of plain sticky note. And I used my Tombow removable adhesive. And I covered the entire back of this like this with removable adhesive. Then I stuck it to another piece like this. And then I placed my dies on there and cut them out. So let me do that. Got to kind of go off screen for that. I'll be right back. What this does is that puts sticky all over on the backs of the letters that I'm cutting out. They're too delicate to try and put it on afterwards. So if you put it on before, then it's already there and they're ready to stick down because I'm going to use them like a mask. Okay, so let me get them out here. Okay, so here they are. I'm going to clean them up a little bit. Get the little chads out of there. And then I'm going to peel away the backing piece. Like that. And that leaves me this piece that is still sticky. Okay? I hope that makes sense. It works really, really well. Again, I just clean it up a little bit, get all the chads out of there. That's all of those. And then that backing piece, we'll pick that up. It's kind of like pulling away the two-sided adhesive that we use. It's kind of like that, except this is temporary so that we can pull it up when we're done using it. Okay, and I'm going to put these on this card front. And I'm kind of looking at where I want them. I think about like this. I don't want the words to go through the flowers. And so I'm being a little bit particular here because I want the flowers up above. Okay, so now those are stuck down with that removable adhesive. Now I'm going to bring in Balmy Blue and add some coloring over those with a blending brush. And you don't have to be too harsh. Be kind of gentle because that double removable adhesive is not super sticky. So you want to be a little bit careful of it. I'm not real sure I wanted it that dark. So I think I'm going to pull this up, although it shows up the words really well. But I want the flowers to show up better. I think I'm going to start that again so you can see. I think I want it to be a little bit lighter. We're going to turn that piece over. And, you know, sometimes in the videos, everything doesn't go the way that you thought it would the first time around. Okay, now I've already used some of that ink off there, so now I'm going to get a better coloring because I wanted it a little bit lighter. I want it dark enough that it makes the words show up when I pull them up, but I also don't want it so dark that it clouds up what the flowers are going to look like when I get them on here. And I think that's going to be much better. So now I don't want to pick those up yet. I'm going to leave them there. I'm going to bring in the stamp, and let me give you one tip. When you're coloring with two different colors, like I am here for the flowers and the stems, color your light colors first and then your dark colors, because if you color the dark color like on this and you get the green right up next to the flowers, then you come back with this freesia, and if you catch any of that green, it's going to stir into your pink and it's going to look bad. So if you start with the fresh freesia and then add the darker green color second, you'll have better luck and your flowers will be a true color, and they'll just look lovely. So just a little tip for you. I like to share things that I have discovered, and this stamp has been used before, and I noticed just now as I was coloring that I think I picked up some of the green in this flower, and I don't want that, so I'm going to clean this a little bit better here and do that again. There we go. And so I'm just using the brush end of the marker and kind of keeping it on its flat side, and you can tell under the lighting, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but as I'm doing it here, you can tell on the lighting that you've gotten ink everywhere, because it has a wet sheen to it when you get the ink on there. So you'll know that you've colored it enough. And then we'll grab the Old Olive. That was fresh freesia for the flower. Now I'm grabbing Old Olive marker, and we'll get those little pieces that are at the bottoms of the flowers. We'll be a little more careful there. And then here you just make sure you get the whole section. And again, I'm just brushing this over. I'm using the side of the brush. You can kind of see what I'm doing. Get that in here. I do want to thank all of you who have recently subscribed to my blog. I appreciate your patronage. If any of you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, contact me. I'd be happy to help you with anything you need. Be happy to send you a catalog, help you with signing up for Stampin' Up! If it's something you're interested in. So be sure and let me know what you would like. Okay, now I'm going to stamp over this mask and over the blue that I have put on here, and I'm fixing it so that the flowers come out above the words as best I can, and kind of centering it. And then I'm going to press fairly securely straight up and down, and there's that. Now I will get my affectionately called pokey tool, and I will pull these words up, and I can reuse them. They're not used up yet. And that lets that happy day show up. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. I've been wanting to try this. I had it on a list of things I wanted to try for quite a while, and I just hadn't got around to it. And I was so glad that I still had these word wishes dies, which are the dies I'm using to make those words today. And they have Christmas, St. Patrick's, Thanksgiving, Valentine's, and happy Easter, happy Mother's Day, happy Father's Day, happy New Year's, and so on. I just wanted happy day because I'm going to turn this into a birthday card. So you get to see word wishes, which is also a returning die set. And again, I'm glad that they're being returned. Now you can see on this one that I have that little triple punch design and the rounded corners. And here's the next tip for you when you're using this. If you do the little triple flower first, all the way around, get that in there, you need to do the triple flower first because it sits into the corners so that you can get the nice clean design. Then you can turn it and you've still got the square edges to use to line up for putting the rounded corner on. So then you can do that and make the rounded corner. So as long as you do the other one first, you can combine them. So that's kind of a tip I don't know if everybody knew about, so I'll share that with you today. So there's that. So there's my art piece. Now, this is just going to get attached to the front with Stampin' Seal. So it's actually quite a quick card, isn't it? I mean, it's not taking that long to do, and yet it's got such an elegant look to it. This has a border around of about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, so just kind of getting that set into place like that. And then this is going to get attached with dimensionals. Don't don't look at the back side. That's the part I'm hiding because I changed. I wanted to do it different. And no one will ever know. Unless you tell them. Don't you tell them. It's my secret and yours now too, right? Okay, so there we go. There's our dimensionals. And then I'm going to put this on here, and I'm just centering it all the way around as best I can. And there is our card. Now, I'm not sure, but it might need some bling. And I'm looking over here. Let's see. They had given us some pastel pearls from the mini catalog that I really, really liked. And they would fit perfectly on here, wouldn't they? I think we need some bling. So let's add some bling. We could go with pink. They have the lighter pink and they have the darker purple here. I think I'm just going to have to add some of this darker purple. Oh, let's see. Maybe over here. And maybe up in here. There, I think some bling is nice. You could add more or less. It just depends on what you want to do. But there is today's current catalog card. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you learned something new. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you will leave me a comment. Thanks so much for stopping by.